Welcome, humans. I am Dr. Shadowman. Tonight I have another dark NDE based on true events. Here is the story. He never expected to die that night. He was only 42, a quiet private man, worked long hours, and lived alone in an apartment on the edge of the city. No spouse, no children, no close friends. His life was a loop of routine. Work, TV, sleep. But one evening, after weeks of ignoring chest pain, the pressure in his chest became unbearable. The room tilted, his vision blurred, and he collapsed before he could even reach the phone. He was gone before the ambulance arrived. What happened next was documented by the paramedic team, the ER staff, and later by the NDE researchers who interviewed him. Because what he experienced was unlike anything they had ever heard. He awoke in a room that wasn't the hospital. When his consciousness returned, he expected to see bright lights and doctors. Instead, he found himself standing in a long, windowless hallway made of dark stone. The air was cold, too cold. A thin fog curled along the ground, moving like something alive. The only light came from flickering bulbs far above, but they didn't illuminate anything past a few feet. He thought it was a dream, but his senses were too sharp. The sting of the cold, the smell of the damp stone, the way his breath echoed as if swallowed by the walls. He called out. His voice didn't echo back. Instead, something else did. A whisper, not a word, just a breath. But it came from behind him. He turned. Nothing there. He began walking, slow at first, then faster. The hallway didn't bend, didn't split, didn't end. Just miles of darkness ahead of him. Yet every step he took, he felt the unmistakable sensation of being followed. Not by one thing, but several. The whispering grew louder. Still no words, just breaths. And soft footsteps that didn't match his. At about the moment he felt panic take root in his chest, he noticed a shape ahead of him. A person, or something like that, or something shaped like one. It stood motionless, completely black, as if carved out of the darkness itself. No features, no face, just silhouette. He froze. Then the figure twitched, a quick, unnatural jerk, and its head snapped in his direction. He backed away. His heel hit something soft. A hand. Someone was standing right behind him. He spun around and saw three more shadow figures behind him, each one identical. Tall, featureless, edges rippling like smoke. He tried to scream, but only a gasp escaped. The figures moved closer. Slow at first, then faster until they were inches from him. The one in front reached out and touched his chest. His hand passed through him. He couldn't breathe. His body felt like it was hollowing out, like something was being pulled from him. He collapsed to his knees, and that's when he realized something horrific. They weren't attacking him. They were claiming him. He blinked and suddenly he wasn't in the hallway anymore. He was in a small room, pitch black. But as his eyes adjusted, he saw faces, hundreds of faces, pressed into the walls. Not carved, not painted, real human faces frozen in silent screens. Their mouths stretched open, their eyes wide but unmoving. He crawled backward, desperate to escape, but the floor felt like mud, thick, sucking at his hands. The whispering returned, but now he understood it. It was coming from the faces. They were whispering inside their own heads, begging, crying, praying, all at once. He covered his ears, but the whispers grew louder, and the darkness behind him shifted. A tall shadow figure stepped into the room, and every trapped face in the walls went silent. The figure reached towards him again, its arms stretching unnaturally long. He tried to run, but the mud-like floor refused to let go. The shadow touched his chest again. This time he felt his consciousness peeling away, like layers of himself were being stripped off. He knew with absolute certainty he wasn't going to survive this. He was going to become one of the faces in the wall. His vision darkened. The last thing he heard was a whisper, but this time it was clear. We'd been waiting. He jolted awake in the ER. The doctor shouted, "We got him back." He tore at the oxygen mask, sobbing uncontrollably. Nurses had to hold his arms down. He kept screaming, "Don't let the walls close in. Don't let them take me." He refused to sleep for 2 days, refused to turn the lights off, refused to be alone. When he finally spoke about it to researchers, he said, "I didn't go to hell. I didn't go to heaven. I went somewhere else. A place for the lost. A place for people who lived empty." And he admitted something he had never told anyone. He hadn't really lived in years. He had simply existed. "Maybe that place is for people like me," he whispered. "People who never filled their life with anything worth holding on to." He never looked at darkness the same again, and he slept with a lamp on for the rest of his life. Well, that was creepy. If you want more of these stories, like and subscribe. Have a spooky night and scary nightmares.